Hello everyone, welcome to History and Culture. On April 8, 1881, Empress Dowager Ci'an, also known as Empress Zheng He, passed away. There are three prevailing theories regarding the cause of her death. 1. Illness. It is said that on the 9th day of the 3rd month in the 7th year of the Guangxu Emperor's reign, Ci'an suddenly fell ill. Her condition worsened rapidly the next day, and she passed away within less than a day. This explanation seems reasonable, as it aligns with the records in Ci'an's Imperial Edict of Demise. However, those familiar with Empress Dowager Cixi know that the edict was drafted following Ci'an's death and reflected Cixi's wishes, casting doubt on its authenticity. 2. Forced suicide. After the death of Emperor Xianfeng, both Ci'an and Cixi served as co-regents during the reigns of the Tongxi and Guangxu emperors. While they appeared to share equal status, Ci'an, being gentle and uninterested in power struggles, seldom interfered in political affairs, maintaining a peaceful coexistence with Cixi. However, on one occasion, Cixi was unwell and unable to attend court, leaving Ci'an to manage state affairs alone. This reportedly angered Cixi, who harshly reprimanded Ci'an. Feeling aggrieved but unable to refute Cixi, Ci'an allegedly took her own life in despair. 3. Poisoning. Another theory suggests that Ci'an was poisoned by Cixi. It is said that Emperor Xianfeng left a secret edict with Ci'an, known for her kindness, to prevent Cixi from seizing power and refusing to return authority to her son Zetian. The edict could be used to depose Cixi if she overstepped her authority. However, Ci'an's straightforward nature led her to disclose this to Cixi. Feigning affection and loyalty, Cixi secretly plotted to eliminate her. One day, Cixi allegedly poisoned Ci'an by offering tainted pastries. Historians have noted that Ci'an's sudden death within a single day, during which Cixi remained by her side, makes Cixi a prime suspect. Historical depictions and misconceptions. Modern historical dramas often portray Empress Dowager Ci'an as weak and ineffectual, but this is far from the truth. While she refrained from power struggles, Ci'an demonstrated decisiveness and wisdom at critical moments. Compared to the ambitious Cixi, Ci'an was more reserved but certainly not a pushover. Ci'an's prominent lineage. Ci'an hailed from a distinguished background, being a member of the Neo-Huru clan of the Manchu bordered yellow banner. The bordered yellow banner was one of the three upper banners, holding a highly esteemed status alongside the plain yellow and plain white banners. In contrast, Cixi's family belonged to the bordered blue banner, one of the lower five banners. From her banner affiliation alone, Ci'an surpassed Cixi in standing. Moreover, Ci'an's family boasted remarkable ancestry. She was a direct descendant of Beidou, one of the 5 founding fathers of the Qing dynasty. Her father, Neo-Huru Muyang, served as a senior official in Guangxi. Her maternal lineage was equally illustrious. Her grandmother was the granddaughter of Prince Zheng He of the Zheng clan, and her aunt was the principal wife of Prince Zheng Duanhua. Although Ci'an was born to a concubine, Ginger Gia's, her family's prestige ensured that even as a secondary daughter, she commanded significant respect. A meteoric rise in the palace. When Emperor Xianfeng ascended the throne, his harem was relatively sparse. His original empress, Sakta, had passed away, leaving him with only consort Yun, Wujia. Ensuring the continuation of the imperial lineage was a top priority. And through a selection process, 4 women were chosen as candidates. Noble consort Zhen, Neo-Huru, later Empress Dowager Ci'an. Concubine Lan, Yehenera, later Empress Dowager Cixi. Noble Lady Ying, Urgent Joro. Another unnamed noble lady. Unlike the others, who were directly granted the rank of noble lady, Neo-Huru was made a consort upon entering the palace. Her rise was meteoric. In April of the 2nd year of Xianfeng's reign, she was granted the title of Consort Chen. A month later, she skipped the rank of concubine and was promoted to noble consort Chen. Less than half a month later, she was officially crowned empress. In just over 40 days, Ci'an went from consort to empress, setting the record for the fastest promotion in Qing harem history. Even the beloved consort Dong of Emperor Xuanzhi did not receive such treatment. This suggests that from the start, Ci'an was likely predetermined to become the reserve empress. According to historical records, Empress Ci'an was not only born into a prestigious family and received an excellent education, making her well-read and reasonable, but she was also exceptionally dignified and virtuous. She possessed several notable personality traits. She was kind-hearted, considerate of the bigger picture, empathetic, and mild-tempered. These qualities earned her deep respect in the palace. Not only did the concubines, palace maids, and eunuchs admire her, but even Emperor Xianfeng held her in high esteem. Emperor Xianfeng, being a ruler who loved lively gatherings and entertainment, often organized banquets and parties. As empress, Ci'an was both considerate and tactful. Seeing how Xianfeng wasted time, she never confronted him directly. Instead, she gently persuaded him, saying, the emperor should prioritize state affairs. Xianfeng respected Ci'an greatly, and whenever she advised him, he would abandon his festivities and return to handling state matters. On occasions when important memorials or reports from the provinces arrived late at night after Xianfeng had already retired, he initially intended to deal with them the next day. However, whenever Ci'an urged him to handle them immediately, he would always rise and take care of the matters. Additionally, conflicts over favor or disputes involving concubines being reprimanded by Xianfeng were inevitable in the harem. During such times, Ci'an always stepped in to mediate and resolved the situations effectively. Both the emperor and the concubines valued her opinions and deferred to her decisions. It can be said that Ci'an acted like a warm, capable, and empathetic head of the household, managing the imperial family with great order and harmony. In the third year of Xianfeng's reign, a palace maid who had gained his favor was granted the title of Mei Changzai. Emperor Xianfeng, known for his fondness for beauties, was deeply enamored not only with Empress Ci'an but also with Li Guiran and Hidera. Whenever Hidera pouted or acted coquettishly, Xianfeng would immediately yield to her. However, Eunuchs, seeking the emperor's favor, also employed numerous methods to win his attention. Unfortunately for her, Hidera, being clever, was not easily outdone. On one occasion, Hidera fainted from heatstroke, causing Xianfeng great concern. He granted her time to recover and excused her from knightly duties. Yet, unable to be without companionship even for a day, Xianfeng was quickly lured to Eunuch's residence in the Chuxiu Palace, where she sang and danced for him, completely captivating him. From that moment on, Xianfeng grew increasingly fond of Eunuchs. According to Qing dynasty regulations, only the empress was allowed to stay overnight after serving the emperor. However, Xianfeng broke the rules, allowing Eunuchs to remain overnight and even staying in her palace. Not long after, Eunuchs was granted the title of consort E, elevating her status significantly. In the 5th year of Xianfeng's reign, Yun Pin of the Wu Jia clan passed away, leaving Eunuchs as the favored consort E, second only to the empress in rank. Observing Xianfeng spending most of his time in Chuxiu Palace, Ci'an repeatedly advised him to take care of his health. But her words fell on deaf ears. She then devised a plan to send someone to recite the imperial ancestral teachings at Chuxiu Palace. Upon hearing the teachings, Xianfeng, alarmed, would quickly leave. Initially, this tactic worked, but over time, Xianfeng grew indifferent and continued indulging in the harem. Ci'an was furious. With the empire facing internal and external troubles and the people suffering, the emperor ignored state affairs and spent his days in Chuxiu Palace. She was enraged by Eunuch's influence, comparing her to Daji, who brought calamity to the nation by leading the king astray. In the first month of the 6th year of Xianfeng's reign, Ci'an reached her breaking point. One morning, she led a group of attendants carrying the ancestral teachings and went directly to Chuxiu Palace. Kneeling at the entrance and loudly calling, "Your Majesty, please rise and listen to the ancestral teachings." Alarmed, Xianfeng hastily dressed and went to court, while Yehenera was taken to Cunning Palace by Ci'an. At Cunning Palace, Ci'an erupted in anger, accusing Yehenera of seducing the emperor and neglecting state affairs. Knowing she was at fault, Yehenera knelt and admitted her wrongdoings. Seeing her acknowledgement, Ci'an ordered the eunuchs to punish her. However, Yehenera shielded her abdomen, revealing that she was pregnant with the emperor's child. Upon hearing this, Xianfeng rushed to plead for leniency, saying, "Empress, please spare her. She carries the Imperial Air." Ci'an was deeply disheartened. Bolstered by her pregnancy, Yehenera became even more arrogant and later gave birth to the imperial prince Zetian, Xianfeng's only son to survive into adulthood. From then on, her position became unshakable. During the Xianfeng era, Empress Ci'an held the title of Empress, symbolizing her supreme status and influence as the mother of the nation. Her position and prestige were extraordinarily high. Even though Yehenera, later known as Empress Dowager Cixi, was conferred the title of noble consort due to her son's ascension to the throne, her status was still subordinate to that of Empress Ci'an. In the 11th year of Xianfeng's reign, Emperor Xianfeng fell gravely ill. Before his death, he issued a special decree to Empress Ci'an. The decree explicitly stated that if Yehenera, emboldened by her son's position as emperor, acted recklessly, Ci'an was authorized to deal with her as per the decree. Additionally, Xianfeng entrusted Ci'an with a jade seal, instructing her to use it to punish disobedient officials who disregarded the young emperor. This gesture of trust highlights Xianfeng's confidence in Ci'an's judgment. After Xianfeng passed away, his 6-year-old son Zetian ascended the throne as Emperor Tongxi. His birth mother, Yehenera, was given the title Empress Dowager Ci'an and became known as the Western Empress Dowager, while Ci'an, as Zetian's legal mother, was titled Empress Dowager Muho and referred to as the Eastern Empress Dowager. Since the young emperor was still a child, Xianfeng had arranged for 8 regents to assist him during his reign. However, not long after, Ci'an and Cixi allied with Prince Gongsun to launch the Xian coup, which successfully removed the 8 regents from power. From then on, the 2 Empress Dowagers began ruling from behind the curtain. However, Ci'an showed little interest in politics, leaving most matters in the hands of Cixi. Because of Ci'an's lack of ambition, some believed she was weak and fearful of Cixi. But this was far from the truth. 2 incidents demonstrate Ci'an's decisiveness and authority. The first incident, executing Zheng He. Zheng He was a highly favored eunuch of Cixi, notorious for his arrogance and impudence, to the extent of showing disdain even for the young emperor. His unruly behavior earned him the disdain of both Ci'an and Emperor Tongxi. In the 8th year of Tongxi's reign, the 14-year-old emperor was preparing for his wedding. Zheng He volunteered to leave the palace to make wedding arrangements, which Cixi approved. However, Zheng He violated protocol by failing to obtain proper clearance and made a grand spectacle of his journey south via the Grand Canal. His ostentatious display, including flying imperial dragon and phoenix flags, caused public uproar. Upon reaching Shandong, Governor Ding Baozhan arrested him for leaving the palace without permission and decided to execute him. Knowing the gravity of such a decision, Ding reported the matter to the court. At the time, Cixi was ill, and Ci'an seized the opportunity to act decisively. She convened Prince Gong and other ministers to discuss the matter and swiftly approved Ding's request. Zheng He was executed soon after. Ci'an's firm decision to authorize Zheng He's execution demonstrated her courage and refusal to tolerate misconduct, proving she was not intimidated by Cixi. The second incident, choosing Emperor Tongxi's empress. When Tongxi turned 16, selecting an empress became a priority for the court. However, the matter became a point of contention between Ci'an and Cixi. Cixi favored Fucha, a 14-year-old girl who was docile and obedient, intending to use her to maintain control over Tongxi and secure her own influence. Ci'an, on the other hand, preferred Alut, a Mongolian noblewoman who was mature, well-educated, and poised, believing she could assist Tongxi in managing state affairs. Both Empress Dowagers presented their arguments to the young emperor. While Cixi tried to sway him toward Fucha, Ci'an patiently explained the benefits of choosing Alut. Ultimately, Tongxi followed Ci'an's advice and selected Alut as his empress. Alut's dignified and virtuous nature bore a striking resemblance to Ci'an. Though Cixi was deeply dissatisfied with the outcome, she could not openly oppose it as she lacked a valid reason to challenge Ci'an. These two events reveal that Ci'an was far from weak or incompetent. Her decisiveness and wisdom in critical moments helped stabilize the imperial court and uphold its order. Historical assessment. Historians note that during the period from Tongxi's ascension to his assuming full control, as well as from Emperor Guangxu's enthronement until Ci'an's death, the two Empress Dowagers jointly managed state affairs. Generally, Cixi proposed policies, which were then reviewed and approved by Ci'an, ensuring stability in the Qing court. As long as Ci'an was present, the court had an additional safeguard: Ci'an's sudden death. In 1881, during the 7th year of Guangxu's reign, Empress Dowager Ci'an suddenly passed away. Speculations about the cause of her death have persisted. With Ci'an's demise, Cixi gained complete control over the imperial court and the harem. From that point on, major decisions, including Guangxu's selection of consorts and his eventual confinement to Yingtai, were orchestrated solely by Cixi. Without Ci'an's counterbalance, Cixi's unchecked power accelerated the decline of the Qing dynasty. This is the History and Culture channel. Liking and subscribing are the greatest help and support to us. Thank you everyone and see you in the next time.